Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's live chat. I am going live in all of the places, so that is YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Hopefully it's all, working. Good morning to the early chatters. So I'm just bringing up the comments here. We've got Livestream Consultants was the first cab off the rank. Good morning. How are you going? Or good afternoon for you. Good morning from Thailand. Hello. Florida Manufactured Home Living is here. Leanne, the mod extraordinaire, has made it in today. Football Fan 789 is here. And Us Plus Dad. Us Plus Dad, I just wanted to say that I always thought it was US Plus Dad as well. I don't know why. I just did. I just assumed that, and it wasn't until Doug streamed the other night that I realized that it's Us Plus Dad, not US Plus Dad. So, whoops. Yeah, Karen Cole is here as well from England. Thank you, Karen. I know that the time is not awesome for you. So, wait a second. I just want to say thank you for dropping that emoji, because it is showed that StreamYard is showing the emoji, not just the long list of, the description of the emoji. Wait, what now? When did that happen? Because on the weekend it showed the description rather than the emoji. Can somebody else test out some of the, the crazier emojis, not like the normal face, but that first row of emojis? I could probably do it, but I would love it if you could. Football Fans dropped another one. That is amazing. I am so chuffed. Man, I love it when good stuff happens. All right. Oh, it's okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Home Rapid Repair is here as well. Football Fan has dropped a pile. That is great. Florida Manufactured Home Living has... what? Because Home Rapid Repair gets the description. Leanne gets the description. I wonder what the difference is. I'm wondering what the difference is. Some of you get your emojis and some of you get the description. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. I really don't. Florida gets his as well. I don't understand. I don't get it. Why does it work for some and not the others? It might be a location thing. I don't know. But Florida Manufactured is in the US. Home Rapid Repair is in the US. It's so confusing. I'm so confused. Everybody's watching from YouTube so far that's chatting. Anyway, I'm sorry. Totally derailed by the fact that the emojis actually worked in my chat. I'm like, what? For some of you. They work for some of you. Legal Miner with Karen in the UK is able to use some of those top row emojis. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe it does depend on the browsers that you're using. Let me know in the chat. How are you watching this stream? Are you watching on a computer with, like on a laptop or a computer with, say, Chrome or Firefox? Amazing Yacht Destinations is on their phone. Because that's actually an excellent point. So, so let me know. If you're on a computer, which browser are you using? And if you're on your phone, what kind of phone are you using? So Football Fan and Amazing Yacht Destinations are on Androids. Yeah, derailed by emojis. I love shiny things. And we are learning something as well. So Legal Mind with Karen is on an Android phone as well. Okay. All right. Florida is in Chrome, Windows 10. So they worked for you, didn't they? So they're working for Android and they are working for... and they're working for Chrome. Okay, so Home Rapid Repair is in Microsoft Explorer. I'm not going to judge you, okay? I'm not going to judge you for that. But let's just say I'm surprised. So Dimmy Hard, what's happening here, and hello, it's great to see you, is we have noticed that sometimes the emojis work and sometimes They are described, and they used to all be described. So when I first saw the first one pop up, I totally got derailed by my excitement. So it's very much, we're just working out now why it works for some people and not for others. So I think it's coming down to how you're watching the stream. So if you're on an Android device or in a Chrome browser, it looks like it looks like it works. So yeah. So we'll see how it goes. You sent me an Instagram message. I did not respond. Let me look here. It could be one of those ones where I thought I responded and didn't. I'll check it out after the stream. What I do want to say is last week ended up being a total kerfuzzle. Let's go with kerfuzzle. I had migraines all week, and the only way I was actually able to stream and the only way I was actually able to pretty well do anything was with pain relief. And I was only actually awake for 2 to 3 hours at a time. So I was going back to sleep after streams and resting. I would sleep all afternoon. The afternoon naps were unintentional to start with. I would just sort of lay down just to close my eyes because our bedroom's the darkest room in the house. And then I'd wake up 5 hours later. So I had a shocker of a week. Now this week I have to catch up. So let's see how I go. A few things went by the wayside last week. Home Rapid Repair switched from Explorer to Chrome, and now it's working. So that is awesome. That is awesome. So it looks like Chrome and Android, you've got the emojis. How cool is that? I mean, it's a great start. And I'd like to see it so that everybody can have it for sure. But it's exciting. I'm excited. Are you guys as excited? You're probably not as excited as I am, honestly. Yeah, migraines aren't awesome. And it's been a while since I've had to deal with it. So it was a shock. It was a shock. Let's just say that. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So I believe all my socials are linked. So if you go to chantellehills.com /bio, you'll get all the links to my socials. I do think I have it in the description. May not, but it would definitely be in the drop downs, like where you click and you can see all the links. It's all in there. Florida manufactured has switched to Firefox, and Firefox works as well. That is awesome. Good morning. How are you? Okay, so that is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, I do just want to double check, because something I realized was people were commenting over on LinkedIn and I wasn't seeing all the comments. So I just do need to just every now and again just double check that LinkedIn is working, you know. And the other thing is I'm streaming today only using StreamYard. So usually I use Ecamm into StreamYard. I realized there was like some big delay and I didn't have time to work out what the delay problem was. So I'm just going straight via StreamYard. So if you do send me buy me a coffee, I do have my phone in front of me so I can hopefully see it and talk about it, and thank you for it if you do decide to do that. If you do want to do that, there's a link in the description as well for that. So let us get on to what we're actually here for, which is talking about YouTube and talking about live stream. Now, I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm not really excited that the fact that I could see the emojis now. I'm really happy about that, because it was something that used to just bug me. I don't like it when things just don't work, right? It does. It bugs me. Am I the only one here who finds that stuff like that is just a little annoying? Please let me know if little things like that you just expect to work that just don't work. I would really appreciate if you could let me know in the chat. But so first things first, do you have any questions about YouTube, about live streaming? Get them in the chat. I will try to answer them. I don't know everything. I know a bit. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. So it is definitely worth asking the question. I can always recommend somebody else as well. So, you know, I know lots of YouTube education specialists. I don't know what they call themselves. I really don't. YouTube educators. I always called them YouTube educators, right? And then I was in a a group setting, and I realized that some people were confused. They thought I was just talking about teachers, like in general, like people who educate on YouTube rather than people who educate about YouTube. So yeah, it is definitely interesting. Let's have an amen on that. Yeah, when things don't work that you just want to work and they're just little niggly things. Yeah, Dimmy hates that as well. Yeah, it is. It's insane, right? StreamYard for live streaming on IG and Twitch. Is it possible? It is possible. I'll say that. It is possible. But right now, you have to decide one way or the other, okay? So you can't have the vertical to live stream and then a horizontal to Twitch. You have to choose which way you're going to go. Now, I was involved in some testing with Doug Hewson, and the people that are used to the widescreen or the wide format videos, when we went live and people were complaining even though it was a test. And we're like, it is a test. Absolutely, it's a test. And there were still people like, oh my God, vertical streaming on YouTube. And I can imagine that if you accidentally went vertical on Twitch, the same thing would happen. So right now, you can't choose your two formats through StreamYard. But I'm hoping that they'll be able to sort it out. I can imagine it would be quite a technical challenge, but I really hope that they can work it out, because I think that would be amazing, which is why I'm not streaming to my Instagram right now, because if I stream like this widescreen to LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube, and then did it to Instagram right now, it would just be this little widescreen with like blurry top and bottom. It doesn't work. I don't like it. It's a personal thing. Okay, so this isn't about YouTube, but what's the best way to make money? So I'm confused. Do you want to make money with your YouTube channel, or are you just talking about like get a job? Like, let me know. Are you talking about like earning income because of your YouTube channel, not necessarily because of AdSense, but because of YouTube channel? Let me know. Legal Minded says, I took a plunge and did a pre-record, as lately I have been nervous about going live. So you gave me confidence last week. I am so glad that you're giving it a try. I know it's hard. I really understand that it's nerve-wracking and it's hard, especially the first few times, to actually click go live. I really do get it, but I am here to help and support you, and just really encourage you to give it a go. So I definitely am appreciating that you have done a pre-record. Now you've done, so let me just clarify one thing. Doug's singing in the chat. That's terrifying. So I just want to clarify, you made a video and uploaded it to StreamYard to go with, thank you, Doug. Appreciate that. So I just want to clarify that you uploaded to StreamYard a pre-recorded video and then use that to go live. Because one thing I'll say, and this is for everyone, not just you, Karen, so this isn't a dig or anything like that. If you're going to go live, if you're going to use live streaming software to go live, just go live, right? Don't do if you're using a pre-recorded version, you need to make sure that you at least have an audio input so that people know that you are going live and it's actually live. If you're doing a pre-record and you want a live chat, that's what the Premiere function is for. So it is definitely, there's lots of options for like being live versus having a live chat on a pre-recorded video. I know that StreamYard does it. I understand that. I understand that StreamYard has the option there, but I don't think that you should get used to doing it that way. Like as a test is cool, but I wouldn't recommend that be your way forward. Does that make sense? Let us go here. Okay, so best way to make income since you are 14. All right. It is tough. Obviously, it's going to depend on what country you're in. I don't know. My daughter went and got a job. She went and got a part-time weekend job. My phone is not on Do Not Disturb. That was very loud. It is on Do Not Disturb, so why did it make noise? Why did you do that? Why is it so? That's perplexing. I don't know. So sorry about the noise. But yeah, I'll be really honest. She went and got a job. It was the easiest way to gain some income as a 14-year-old. I don't know what the rules are in your country, whether or not you can get an actual job. On YouTube, it's a bit trickier. If you have a YouTube channel, you can totally make income, but I'll be really honest, on a small channel, you're better off getting a job at the local takeaway. So it's tough. It is tough. YouTube income is a long-term game. And you once you're over, if Doug's still here, do you need to be over 18 to have an AdSense account? Or do you just need to be over 13? I'm not 100% certain about those rules. Definitely worth digging in and checking out the rules on that. But yeah, definitely worth going and having a look. Alrighty, Legal Monitor Karen's great first steps. Hit go live to an unlisted live. You'll gain the confidence to go. See, I love that. I love that advice that you're giving Home Rapid Repair. That is my preferred version. Rather than doing a pre-record and setting it live, I think that having an unlisted live where it's just you being live and then releasing it to the public later if you're happy with it, I think that works better personally. Working on my next launch, decided on a video launch, aka Jeff Walker style, but we'll be doing Facebook Lives in a private group via OBS. Any tips? My one big tip is double check you can still do that. I know YouTube is, Facebook, there's rumblings that Facebook is removing access to groups for live streaming. So I would double check that you can still do it. You may be able to like get away with it this time, but maybe it won't work next time. I don't know. It's definitely worth just double checking that it links up. So maybe just run like a little 5-minute test as well, just double checking that it works before, like a day before or something like that, just to double check. But I love it that you're doing it. I really do. I love that you're doing that. If you're going to be multi-streaming to YouTube as well, I would just be double checking your upload speeds, which I think off the top of my head, you're solid. I think you're solid. Because unlike StreamYard, OBS will need to send out multiple streams, so it'll use double the bandwidth. But I definitely have to double check that Facebook will still be allowing access. I know it's definitely ruling out API access, but I'm not. I know that you can get through by connecting your Facebook account through RTMP. You'll have to test it. You'll need to test it. You're in Ireland, okay? I don't know what the rules are in Ireland. You'll need to check that out. Okay. Oh yeah, Doug, thank you. Guardian will need to set that up. Okay, so you do have to be 18, and you do have to pay taxes on your YouTube money, any income, depending on the country that you're in. Every cent of income gets counted for income tax. At least it does in Australia. All the preteens blowing up have their parents as AdSense accounts. Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't think you can set one up if you're under 18. Okay, you did not do what you are saying. Okay, I said a few things. So I'm not quite sure which one you did not do. Okay, Football Fan 787, you really need to watch your language. Your comments will be removed if they include any kind of swears. We don't have curse words in the chat here. Let me have a look. Yeah. Upload is great. It is good. Yeah, Facebook streaming confuses me. Yeah, look, I'm with you as well. I do set it up every now and again for my Fiberific live streams because I do have a Facebook group as well for that. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it starts out working and then sometimes it stops. I don't understand. Honestly, I just straight up don't understand. So I'm more specialized in YouTube live streaming but I do stream in other locations. I'm getting better at streaming on YouTube and LinkedIn. I know that I know not YouTube, on Twitter and LinkedIn. I know on LinkedIn you've got some extra hoops you have to jump through to be able to live stream over there, but it is definitely it's definitely worth having a look and seeing. Look at my previous message. No, I'm not scrolling all the way back. Okay. Yeah, we definitely try to keep it family friendly. Who's the most famous person that I have met? YouTube wise, I would say probably Hank Green, Justin Brown, or Nick Nimmin. Yeah. Yeah. It is. Oh, okay. Thank you. Legal Minded Karens just mean that I was in the video recording and I did a pre-record and then loaded as a premiere. Okay. Who is Hank Green? Okay. You need to Google Hank Green. Like education time, football fan 789. Definitely. If you are a YouTuber, you'd need to go and check out who Hank Green is. HankGreen. One of his channels is Vlog Brothers. The other, he created VidCon. I'm just like, I'll just fangirl right now. He created VidCon. He created Complexly, which has some amazing education channels under it. Vlog Brothers, Nerdfighteria. Like, I'm an old nerd, okay? So you need to go and check out Hank Green. Hey, I'm famous, but I haven't met you in real life. I'm assuming it's met in real life. I haven't met you yet in real life. But yeah. Oh, Doug's got it. Okay. All right, Karen. Cool. Thank you. I don't know who Messi is. Sorry. Oh, you've met Daryl Eves? That's pretty cool. That's very cool. But yeah, it's one of those things, like we're all in different worlds and realms and different things. So who's famous for me may not be famous for you. Who's famous for you may be someone I'm like, wait, who? So yeah, not going to yuck on anyone's yum, but I don't know who that is. No, I don't. Oh, he's a famous soccer player. Thanks, Doug. I don't do sports. I don't watch sports in any shape, fashion, or form, except for a bit of Australian cricket. So I'm very boring. But I am so excited that you got to meet Messi. That is very awesome. Legal Mind with Karen says, I don't know why I hate going live. I just cannot manage chat and everything. Look, I'm not going to lie. Going live you've got to keep a few plates spinning at once, right? And it is practice. That's the only thing that makes it easier is practice. So for me, I like having multiple windows open. I have my actual YouTube interface window open here so I can see if there's any issues or any problems. I have StreamYard here, which is where I interact with most of the comments. If I need to moderate, I can do it from the YouTube window. Luckily, Doug is here, who is very active for somebody who should probably be at work. I'm not going to judge. I'm happy. And Leanne is also floating around in the chat as well. So I highly recommend having a moderator. So that helps you to deal with messages that aren't necessarily appropriate or divisive in a conversation. Football fans 789. It depends on your country. In Australia, it is called soccer because our football is different. In the US, it's called soccer. So you need to allow for that and not get angry when people call something different because they're not from your country. Like, we don't call our bins here waste paper baskets like they do in the US. They are our rubbish bins, or footpaths or sidewalks, or any number of ways to describe something differently. So Home Repairs, it's like, hey, don't call Doug out. I'm sure his boss is getting every penny out of his work. I'm 100% certain Doug gives value at work. Doug's whole ethos is value first, and I am sure he's giving value at work. I'm just teasing. So yeah, yeah. You know what? I get it. I really do. Having, and this is where the practice comes in. Honestly, it's where the practice comes in. But in saying that, you don't have to go live. Like she says from her channel that's specifically about live streaming. I'm just going to say this one thing. Football fan 789, in the description are the rules of the chat. You might need to have a little reread. You're going a little hard on the emojis. We have a 5 emoji limit. So if you keep it up, the mods may deal with you. It's definitely understandable going nervous. It is a new way to do something. It is definitely a new way of doing something. If you've just gotten used to pre-recording and editing and uploading, live streaming is a whole nother beast. And you need to decide for yourself if that's the way you want to go. Now, I personally love it, and I think everybody should give it a go. And I think there's a lot of audiences and a lot of niches that can really get the advantage from live streaming. Doug's just worked out that the emojis work. I think my coffee delivery has just arrived. Louis is letting me know that there is someone here at the gates. Hopefully his barking is not too much for you. Doug, right at the beginning of the stream, I did get derailed because we worked out that if you are using Firefox, Chrome, or Android, the emojis work. But if you're using, what was it, Microsoft Edge, and there was something else, it didn't work. You still came up as the description. But yeah, we were just like, what? The first 5 minutes, the first 7 minutes of the entire stream is that. Hang on a second. What was that? Did they knock? I think it's the courier. Sorry, my daughter's just letting me know that she heard someone at the door. She got woken up by Louis. All right. Okay, Facebook Help Center says that live is still okay in groups. That is good. That is good. I'm just hearing rumblings from areas that the API is going to be removed. And I'm not 100% certain if it's like legit rumblings or not legit rumblings. So I would still test it. I had such a great workflow when I was filming and editing, but once I started live streaming, I found filming and editing so time consuming. I would always rather go live now. I will say that I agree. But where I will caution is that, and this is a lesson I learned on my Fiberific channel, and I learned it the hard way. And one of the ethoses here on this channel is I have been grinding and digging in the dirt with live streaming for 8 years, trying to do things in places and in locations where the internet is bad and people tell me don't bother, and then I still get a stream. What I will tell you from my experience of live streaming and YouTube is be cautious having a live only channel. I found that when I went from pre-recorded only to pre-recorded on live stream, which that was a really great bonus, was doing both. I found that my growth really slowed down to about a third of what my growth was before I stopped doing pre-records. I had to do it because I had time issues. I had to choose which one I could do. I could only do one, so I chose live streaming because I love live streaming. I love hanging out with my community. I love chatting with you guys here in the chat, helping you individually. So I definitely want you to be cautious. Football fan 789, you are spamming the chat, so I think it's timeout time. But yeah, so just keeping the balance is definitely worth doing. It's one of those things. So keeping that balance of both lives and pre-records. That would be my advice. If you can do both, do both. If you can only do one, you can only do one. But if you have the option for both, I would do both. I heard someone say YouTube has streamed down. I heard someone today saying, I'm not quite sure. Hang on a second. Is there clarification? No. YouTube took her stream down for saying an image gained weight, they said no body shaming. Yeah, there's no body shaming on YouTube. But I'm not sure why they, that seems a little hard. But she can always have a discussion with YouTube about it as well. It's not a yarn order. No, I don't believe I have any yarning coming. I've been very good. Definitely expecting a coffee delivery today, though. So this is my iOS Apple on my phone. Yeah, so those emojis did work. It was that line of the big square bright ones that wasn't working before. Yeah, and you know what? I totally understand, like Frankie over 50, like just to go back to your point. I definitely agree. Live streaming is way easier than pre-recording, at least for me. At least for me. So, you know, and this is not the case for everybody, which is why YouTube is so diverse in the types of content and the different, you know, the different things like live streaming and shorts and premieres and videos on demand. Like there's so many options across so many niches and how to do it. And there's a reason for that. And that's because everything works differently for different people's workflows. Doug's saying here that live streaming has some big pros. And I definitely agree with that. I definitely think that there's so many pros to live streaming if you are trying to build out a community. If you want to talk to a person, if I want to talk to, you know, Legal Minded Karen about people taking streams down, if I want to talk to, you know, Frankie over 50 about live streaming only, this is a better way. It's more now. It's more I'm answering your questions. There's also I also take issue with people who run a live stream and they're never ever in that entire live stream do they chat with the chat. That bugs me as well. Like, why go live? Just do a pre-record, honestly. And I sometimes do my pre-records like I'm going live. I treat the planning of it the same as I would going live. I have everything all set up for overlays and everything, and I bring it all in and all that kind of stuff. And I will do it as if I'm going live. And for me, it makes it, it's like, the goal is to make the edit easier because it's more relaxed. But as those of you that hang out in the live streams know, my brain does little like, I'm going to go over and talk about this shiny thing for 10 minutes. So I end up like chopping a big part of it out. But yes, if you are live streaming, people are coming for the interaction. And if you're not interacting, they feel like they're missing out, or at least I do. Does anybody in the chat go to live streams and are okay with totally no interaction? Now, one thing I'll clarify is those that have a form or another way to, like Linus Tech Tips, if you want to have your comment brought on stream, it's through a different portal. It's part of like the purchasing system, if you know, things like that. So if they've got a different way to communicate, that's different. But if it's just a live stream where the only way to chat is in the chat and the chat is ignored, let me know if that's a bugbear of yours or if it's just me. It could just be me. I'm not likely to be on a replay if the creator is chatting to chat. Okay, I get that as well. So you like them more in the middle. So you like it when they have a conversational, like a conversational topic that they talk about. See, I'm torn here because I get it. I do. Because you're not there for that part. You're not there for the actual interaction. It's like watching a replay of a conversation. It's a bit different. But if it's something like my streams, like out of curiosity, do you watch the replays of my streams? Because that might be a bit more of a balance game. Let's have a look here. Yeah, we also live stream on Twitch as well, and we chop those streams up and put them up as VODs. Yeah, absolutely. And I do that as well, which is I use Opus Clips, which I'm really enjoying using. I just grabbed the link from my live stream. I actually grabbed the StreamYard link. It's a little less compressed than the YouTube link. I give Opus Clips my StreamYard link. I'll go through and I'll choose some clips. I need to tighten them up a little. And choose a better start and end point. They don't always start at the start of a sentence. It's a little weird, but anyway. Go through and tighten them up a little bit and upload those. I've actually got a few more to add to this channel. So, yeah. Oh, the YouTube only emojis. That's right. That's the one. Jerry Papandreou says, lately, I think I prefer live stream. But you're still making your pre-record content as well, right, Jerry? I didn't know you live stream. I'm going to have to go and check it out. I've been watching your food videos, but not the live streams. Okay. In regards to taking streams down, the AI has real trouble with context in its present form. If they feel something is against TOS, they will err on the side of caution and take it down right away. Yeah. Live should be for interaction. Agreed. People come to our lives for the chat. Our viewers are hilarious. Yeah. And I like that every little corner, like every channel, I think of channels as corners of the internet, okay? Every little corner is different, and the chat has a different feel, and it's just like anything. Like when you're in a circle of friends, everything is a little different. So, and I love that. I love that the personality of the channel comes through in the chat. Yeah, Facebook have taken things and they're just crazy. I still want to see the new coffee machine. Please make a YouTube post showing us after Saturday. I am curious. I don't have a new coffee machine. It's my 3-year-old coffee machine. It was being really naughty, and then we threatened it with a bat and to take it to the coffee machine doctor. And now it works, and we don't know why it's working. We're just really grateful it's working. I can make a short. If you really want to see my coffee machine in action, I can make a short. It's not a new one, but you can. I'm happy to do that. Let me know. Strikes me live streaming as a tool in the toolbox. The more tools you have, the bigger the thing you can build. This comment right here. This one right here. So it is a tool in the toolbox. And being able to do all the things, you may not have all the tools. You may not be able to use all the tools. You might have tools you don't know how to use, to keep the analogy going. But having the tools and learning how to use the tools can only help you. Home Rapid Repair says, I love the interaction. Me too. Roberto Blake is saying short viewers are the lowest level of commitment. Video viewers are curious about the topic, and live viewers are interested in the creator. I can't speak for all of the internet, obviously, but I feel this is pretty well on point. I know for myself, I'm less likely to watch a live stream from somebody I don't already have a know, like, and trust with. So I was not say I won't, but I'm less likely to. So, having a few videos already up is helpful, or a few I'll watch the occasional live replay if someone's like recommended it to me, like someone I trust has recommended something to me, I'll go and watch it. But yeah, it's definitely a little, it's a balancing act like anything, really. It really is. If a stream is for a reason and then it takes too long to get there, if they're saying hi to everyone and chatting, so I would watch the video and replay. Oh, so you can fast forward through all of that. I get it. I prefer if the creator does interact with chat. Yep. I'm not going to pick on anyone's spelling. If anyone's read my comments in live streams, my fingers just type whatever. Like I'll just like invent words. And I know what I meant. So I'm not going to pick on anyone's spelling. I see videos different to live streams. Me too. Absolutely. I think a video should be short, sharp, and to the point. No fluff, no muff. Just get to the point. Live streams, it's more fluid. That's what I'll go with there. I suspect those that love to talk like live streams more than other formats. I mean, I do like to talk. I mean, yeah, I do. I like talking. Especially love talking about YouTube. And then I like to double special love talking about YouTube live streaming. And that is why I made the channel, and that is why I run these live streams, because I don't know about you guys. Do you have somebody in your real world life that you can actually sit down and have a coffee with and talk about the topic that you like to talk about without them rolling their eyes and going, oh my God, I'm so bored. Can you please talk about something else? I don't really have anyone in my real life that I can do that regularly. I have some friends that I can pop in on an occasion, like Doug and Justin, where I can hang out every now and again, but not like a regular weekly sit down chat. That's why I do this, so I can have that with you, because we do talk about we do veer off and talk random things as well, because hello, I'm a human. But having somebody that you can talk to about and someone that you can have these conversations with and ask the questions and brainstorm and just really sort of get some help and some clarity around what it is that we're trying to do from people that are already doing it. Because like my husband, who I love very much, he tries really hard, but YouTube is not his passion like it is for me. And I do try hard to listen to him talking about sports as well, because he loves sports. And I try very hard. It's not my favorite topic. There is an occasional thing where I'll be like, oh my God, did you see this? And he'll be like, no, oh, how did you see it first? You don't even watch this stuff. I'm like, ha ha ha, I am the winner. So it's really, I think it's really important to build a community of people around you that like to talk about the same thing. So, with the Fiberific, I actually started a craft group because I realized there was no humans near me that wanted to get together, like that were already getting together at a time that worked for me. So I started my own in-person craft group that I go to 3 times a month. And that was something I needed to do. And I do know that some people create like these real live little groups of people who are on YouTube, and they get together once a month for a coffee and a chat. And I think that's fantastic. And if you can do that, you should totally do that. But I also know not everybody can do that. Not everybody has anybody around them. I would definitely be checking out, like in Australia, we have the Australian YouTubers group. So if you are within Australia, they only accept members that are Australian because we talk about things that are specifically Australian on YouTube. And so you can do that. But then there's also like the Queensland YouTubers group or the Brisbane YouTubers group or the Gold Coast YouTubers group, where it's really divided down, and they get together, they meet up, they chat to each other. So maybe have a little look around. You may actually have a little group around. The catch with those groups are, and this is I'm old, right? I go to some of these groups and they are not old, and I feel out of place. So I tend to not go back. But every now and again, I'll find one that's just this little clutch of people around, like not necessarily around my age, but around my experience. So definitely worth trying to find somewhere in real life that you can get together with actual humans to talk about stuff that you are passionate about. But otherwise, that's what this stream is for, where we can talk about the thing that we're passionate about. And you can talk about it in the chat. And I know it's a little one-sided because I'm doing all the talking, but I will definitely try to answer your questions and bring your comments up on screen. My kids just nod and smile. Yeah. I got an 18-year-old. There's a lot of nodding and smiling, but also some eye rolling. Yeah. I don't have any real-world YouTubers I can talk to locally, so I'm loving access to all these topics from people like you and Doug and others. Well, I'm glad that I can fill this void for you, or be part of the fill of the void for you. I've read about 5 YouTube creators that I talk to. I can't even read apparently. I have about 5 YouTube creators that I talk to in real life. I have 2 friends to talk to. Otherwise, my friends don't even watch YouTube. Really? That's big. That's a big one. That makes it harder. But I'm glad that you have some creators that you can talk to. Because I think it's important that you've got someone you can talk to about something you're passionate about. I think, like, just in general for life, happiness and balance and well-being, having someone you can talk to about something that takes up a huge portion of your life is pretty important. A book showed up. There's homework. Excellent. Yeah, I don't go to the Perth meetups. They all look so young. Yeah, I kind of walked past one meetup one time and I was trying to work out if it was like a high school group or if it was the YouTube meetup. It was a little stressful. I like the live host to balance it all, get their agenda across to us in the live chat while interacting with us and encouraging us to chat with each other too. Yes, that is my ultimate goal, Leanne. It's like you've been in my live streams for a while. Because that is my ultimate goal. I want you all to connect with each other. So I know that a lot of you use these same handles on Instagram and on Twitter, and I would love it if you would chat with each other. So, I mean, I don't want to create a whole nother Discord group. I already have one, but If you want me to start another Discord group where you guys can chat to each other, I will do that. But I think a lot of you are in existing Discord groups where you do chat. So, you know, there's the Can Do community, there's the Nick Niven community, there's Doug's community, all these places we can just piggyback off of. We can all chat over there, right? Doug's probably busy at work, so he can't defend his group, but we can just raid it. We can just raid Doug's group and go and hang out in there, because I think you're all hanging out in Doug's live streams as well, right? My daughter told me yesterday her friend in New York watches my channel and that it impressed her. He asked, "Is that your mum?" That is awesome. That is so good. I love that. I remember one time Abby said, "Mum, can I take some of your fibrific pens to school?" And I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Some of the kids watch your channel and they heard you talking about the pens and they'd really, really, really like one." And I was just like, okay. So I gave her this handful of pens. I was expecting to get them all back because I was like, what? But no, next thing you know, I get a message in a live stream from one of her school friends saying, "Oh my God, Abby just gave me the pen. Thank you." I was not expecting it. And doesn't it make you feel like I glowed a little bit. I was just like, oh, wow, I'm so happy about this silly thing. Like this person, it's nearly like your child is seeing that other people see value in what you're doing. And like, that is a cool thing. Yeah. Oh, Doug's here. Doug, feel free to drop the link to your Discord so we can all go and raid your Discord. All right. Same. I do not have a lot of people that I can talk to about YouTube. Amazing yacht destinations. Depending where you are in Thailand, there are some groups over there that I know of that get together and talk. I know there's one that meets up in Bangkok. There's one that gets together. I'm not sure if it's in Chiang Mai or near Chiang Mai, but you could possibly try and do that. Otherwise, you can do what you're doing here. You can be joining in on Zoom calls where people are having things, because I think I sing your name in a group that we're both in, which I don't want to, out you about if you don't want that public. But just take advantage of it. Doug says, too many Discords. Yeah, it's like Facebook groups, right? Is there too many Facebook groups? Like maybe, I don't know. I don't know anyone I see in person that has a clue about any aspect of this business. So you've got no real lifers. Is there someone you could teach and you could create your own little group? I don't know. I do prefer Discord to Facebook. Facebook I'm too full of topics and scams. I think there's a typo in there and it's not really. I'm not sure. But I agree. Like, I agree with the Discord to Facebook groups. There's some huge advantages over Discord to Facebook groups that I absolutely love. Like, okay, so Facebook, most people have a Facebook account. It makes it easy for people to join, right? That's the one benefit of a Facebook group. And that, as far as I can tell, that's the only benefit of a Facebook group. That, and you can live stream into a Facebook group. With Discord, you can create your own forum topics. You can really narrow things down. You can make it so that it's really, you can really make it clear and easy for people to see things and to get help on specific topics or to chat about specific topics. You can really make it easy when people see that there's a new conversation that's started. And you can have Zoom, like a Zoom style call in there as well. It's a Zoom. I say Zoom style because it's like, it looks very similar to Zoom. It's got some differences, but it looks very similar, and it's all free. Unless you want to really encourage your members to nitro the community, it is free. So, and it's free for me to set up. I'm actually moving. I have a regular Zoom meeting and that I pay for Zoom for this one meeting, right? So I pay annually for a pro Zoom account so that I can have this meeting. This meeting goes for like 3 hours. So the 40 minutes doesn't work. but it's definitely on Discord. It's free. So yeah. Oh, you recognized me from her wedding? Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool. Not to mention a use for some of that massive pen purchase. Hey, look, I have plenty of uses for that pen purchase. Like I go through pens like that. That's my third pen order that I put in. That's not my first one. The first two orders are gone. Except for I keep a couple of, because I get different colors done. So a couple of each of the colors. I am the same way here in southern New Mexico. The closest live streamer to me that I am friends with in real life is 11 hours away in Austin, Texas. Bit of a drive to meet for coffee. Oh, I agree. But I know of other people in New Mexico that are streamers, or that were streamers that are online, that are on YouTube. There are people around. You just need to sort of find them. They're hiding. So you might be able to, like, if you jump into some of these groups and say, hey, I want to start a coffee meetup for anybody who is in this region. I'm going to be at this coffee shop at this time. I'm going to put a YouTube logo on a napkin or something so they can just walk past and go, oh, hi, are you the YouTube dude? That's how I started my first craft group, right? I just put it out on Twitter and Facebook, like not even in my groups, but just on them. Like, hey, I want to have a craft group at this time and in this place. I'm going to be at this cafe at this time. And I was fully expecting to go there and just sit there and have a coffee. And I was dinner time, so I was going to have some dinner. I was prepared to be by myself. I booked a table for like 4. And I got there and there were people already there. And we had to get more tables, and it was surprising. But sometimes you have to be the first one. You have to actually make it happen. And it could be a slow grind. So maybe even just organizing a time and a place, taking your laptop, maybe having some editing or something, to maybe some social media posts you want to do, something, or some research, so that if no one turns up, you can just have a nice coffee out and do these things. And it might be a few meets where you're doing that by yourself, but then it could slowly grow. Like, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Discord is easy to keep the topics separate. I enjoy Mr. Nimon's Discord, although I mostly stick to his members only sections. Yeah, this is one of those things. Like, when you have a Discord, you can create members only sections. And if you have channel members, like YouTube channel members, Discord make it so easy. There's an integration. It's like, boom, it's done. Thanks, Discord. Whereas on YouTube, going through Facebook, you've got to like verify stuff. It's like, is this the email address that has this? You know, like it's more work. Whereas Discord's just like, oh, okay, connect this account and this account. Boom, they're joined. Oh, they're a member. Broop. And when they stop paying and they're no longer a member, Discord automatically removes them for you at whatever grace period you set, whether it's 7 days or 30 days or 1 day or whatever. You get to choose. So Discord has some total benefits on being a great group. There we go. Doug's Discord. Probably should have asked Doug if we could raid his Discord. I'm hazarding a guess that most of us are already in there, honestly. But we're just going to raid Doug's Discord. Thanks, Doug. I do sort of teach sharing that I have learned in masterminds and groups, but most I have met are totally clueless and are uninterested. Okay. But see, for me, like when it comes to the YouTuber groups, most are totally uninterested in my topics. They want to know what they can do to help them grow or their channels, because we all like to talk about our own thing, right? So I tend to kind of try to sit back and just go, okay, so what's your channel about? Have you tried this? And so I, try and build it that way, maybe. I don't know. You can decide what you want to do. But I do think that even getting together, even if you don't talk YouTube, just getting together with people on the same path and having a coffee or a tea or whatever beverage is your favorite, I think it's good to hang out with actual humans every now and again. I suppose I could put out something in the BBD, like some Florida people. Yeah, maybe. Like if you want to do BBD rather than YouTube, then like if you want the focus to be about, BBD is Business by Design. It's a James Wedmore program on how to create amazing sales funnels and creating online courses and products to sell to help expand your business beyond the YouTube realms, but utilizing YouTube video, things like that, if you want to, as part of that funnel. That's probably a really, really bad way to describe it. If you've got a better description, Russell, drop it in. But yeah, BBDs is really great. It's a really fun and interesting way to do things. If you want to make it broader and do it more than just YouTube, then that if that's what those conversations would make you happier, then that's probably what I'd do as well. Livestream says that's a great idea. Would have to be at the Denny's here in town. Then do it at Denny's. I bet everyone in town knows where Denny's is. Hey, I'm meeting up. I would double check with Denny's first, make sure that you can book a table or something like that. But definitely I'd do it. I'd just be like, I'm going to meet up here. I talk about live streaming because you're a live streaming consultant. You're up there. So yeah, come and chat and hang out and have a coffee and gab about YouTube. So yeah. Michael Sahovsky. Michael, we were talking about you on Saturday night because Doug and I co-streamed for 2 hours and we didn't see your face. We missed you. So I'm so glad that you made it today into the live stream. So the BBD is more the level. If that's what you're happy to talk about, if that is where your passion is and it's that next level of business rather than just YouTube, then I would definitely be doing that. I would definitely be adding into the if that's what you find enjoyable, then hang with those people. That's what I'd do. Hey, Mr. Chicken, good to see you in the chat here. So there's sometimes you have to create it. Sometimes you have to be the one to say, hey, let's make a group, because maybe no one else in the area has started a group. Sometimes you have to be the person. You have to be the catalyst. You have to be the person to start your channel. Maybe you need to be the person to start a group. Mr. Chicken, you're more than welcome to drop any questions about YouTube or live streaming in the chat. Go right ahead. Anything else may or may not be removed, depending on what it's about. Don't feel terrible. Don't feel terrible, but we'd missed you. And that's what I wanted you to know, is that you were missed. So I'm going to have a little drink in my StreamYard mug. Speaking of StreamYard, they'll be streaming in a couple of hours. Their weekly live chat where the founders of StreamYard get in and explain any new features. You can ask any questions directly to them. I am super excited that the YouTube only emotes are working in the chat. Oh, Mr. Chicken. All right, I'll bring it. I'll bring it. We didn't ban him. He was timed out because he was spamming the chat and he was asked not to. That's why. So he is 14. He's not 9. He's not 5. He should understand the rules of a chat. So, and we told him where the rules were. He could look at them and he was just timed out. He was not banned. So you can have a talk to him and explain life, that sometimes if you break the rules of something, there are consequences. So yeah, that's one. All I'm going to say, Mr. Chicken, is he wasn't banned. He was timed out because he was spamming the chat. So that's what happens. Anyway, sorry. Like, I'll just take that mum hat off for a second. But sometimes we have to be the catalyst. Sometimes we have to sit down and do the thing first. It's just as scary as going live stream. I actually think it's, for me, scarier than live streaming. Okay. All right. No, I'm definitely not your mum, because I would have taught you not to come into someone else's house and do this stuff. Yeah. Thank you, Doug. That's the perfect response. It's sometimes you just have to be the one. If you want something, if you want a community, sometimes you have to build it. So and you have to enforce your rules. You have to enforce the rules. You have to protect the rest of the community. And it's like one of these. It is definitely one of those things. Yeah, exactly. Illegal mining with Karen. That's exactly what Doug did. Because, like, for me, you're here. You're here asking questions. You're here specifically wanting to find answers about live streaming and about YouTube. And you've come here while I'm live to ask these questions. I will try to protect you from scammers, spammers, and trolls. And so will my mods like Doug and Leanne when she's around as well. And it's one of these things. I did want to ask. I am looking for another mod. I am looking for one more mod, and I like to have my mods being people from my regular community, because you know how the chats work. You know what things we allow and what things we don't allow. And I'll also jump on a call to have a chat about what I expect and don't expect. Like, that's the big thing as well, what I don't expect from my moderators. So if you would like to be one of my moderators, send me a DM on one of the socials, and we can talk about it, because I would like to have one more at this stage. I'm not one of these people that likes to have a sea of blue mod hammers. Oh, Andrew's here. Hello, Andrew. I'm not one of these people that likes to have the sea of moderators, but I definitely like to make it so that if Doug's working or Leanne's not available or Andrew's not in the chat, I like to make it so that somebody is here, excuse me, helping me to look after you all and keep you all safe from these kinds of people. This is it. This is the short of what I just, the succinct and way that would have been better if I had said it, is respect other people's spaces. Like we've said before, this is my corner of the internet. You have your corners of the internet. This is my corner of the internet, and I have rules. I notice you only use one camera angle. Nick switches between several. Any advantage to multiple angles? Absolutely. If you have the extra cameras and you have the equipment to run them automatically, because that's another plate you need to keep spinning in the air if you don't have a way to do it. Nick uses an A10 mini with a macro written in so that it automatically switches the scenes or switches the cameras. It keeps interest. It keeps things like looking a little different, and it can also spark conversations. I don't do that for two reasons. I've got a very tiny space, and having I could probably put one here if I wanted to, and I do have other cameras that I could utilize for this. I don't have any way to switch it manually, switch it automatically, so it would be a manual situation. I do have another webcam here that I do use for when I'm making my crafting and top-down content, but I like to keep it with just the one, just for ease of use, just to make my streams a little easier for me while I'm chatting and talking and doing these things. If I had a bigger, nicer studio like Nick does, Nick has a beautiful studio that has some great angles, I would definitely be looking at trying to do that. But for me, I just really want I don't want to worry about it. But it can totally work for you if you have the bandwidth, as in the brain bandwidth, and you have like an A10 mini that can do it automatically for you. Go for it. If you've got the money to buy the equipment, go for it. But for me, I prefer this, and you need to decide what works better for you. Some people don't realize asking the same questions is spamming. My answer to that is, if they have just cut and paste and added the question in multiple times, they know they're spamming. If they've been on YouTube for more than 5 minutes, they know that's spamming. So yeah. Oops, hang on. The more angles you have, angles instead of angels. Good one. Just as a warning, everybody, Freaky is a tame troll. So Freaky can stay. Sometimes a little discipline is needed for those that are undisciplined, which is why you've got the option for timeout, right? You don't have to, obviously it depends on the comment and what they've said. You don't have to block them straight away. You can time them out. They get warnings. You can time them out from anywhere from 10 seconds up to 24 hours, I think it is. It might be 48 hours. Long time. before you have to make the unilateral decision to block them. If somebody is disrespectful to the community, if someone is disrespectful to the streamer, if somebody can't follow the instructions and keeps doing something they've been asked not to do, then it's like, why are you here? You don't get to be in my corner of the internet breaking my rules. It's great to see you, Andrew. Thanks so much for jumping in. I wanted to try a second angle, but you could see my turkey neck. That's the thing, right? Like, we framed these things just so, like, if I frame this out just a little more this side, you can see the tape that holds my wall. Like, because that's just a picture of a brick wall. That's not a brick wall. So I have things very carefully framed into my very small space here. So yeah, I've had that happen. I've had an angle up from the side because I was spinning, so my head was turned, and yeah, the profile is not awesome. Andrew, I too enjoy a more simple approach. It just feels more conversational to me. I feel like I'm talking to you, rather than having like woo, 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 all these amazing angles, which can be fantastic. But I feel like I'm more connected with you when I can just talk with you, right? How did you get started on YouTube? That's a great question. I got started on YouTube because I got sick of repeating myself. Funnily enough. So, well, actually my very first video was somebody told me you can't do this thing. And I'm like, I totally can. They're like, no, you can't. I'm like, I don't have the things here to show you I can do it. I can totally do this. And it was a spinning thing. So it's just my phone on my desk. Like, yeah, see, look, you can do it. Legit. Support spindle and waist silk for sure. Totally works. But the actual first like planned video, okay, I'm having a channel. That was because I just sort of dropped it here. And like I say to everybody, I grab all of the, I try and make sure I can have all of the handles that with my business name. So I wanted to build the channel. So I'd started a channel with the intention of building it, but I hadn't gotten there yet. But I was doing craft shows and selling equipment. And there was this one piece of equipment that was a little bit fiddly to use. And I realized that this one lady was, every time I did this show, like it was once a month, I'd be at various places, and she was at quite a few of them. And I realized that I was just like, and I pulled her aside one day and I'm like, hey, I've shown you how to use this like a pile of times. Because I thought maybe I was teaching it wrong. And I was just like, is there a problem? Like, do you want to sit down and we can work through it? And she was just like, no, I just get home from these craft shows and my brain melts and I sort of hold it in my hand. And I can see your face, but I can't hear any of the words that you were saying. So I'm still trying to learn how to use it. I'm like, would it help if I made a video so that you could just watch it at home? And she was just like, oh my God, yes. And then so when people were like, hey, how do I use this thing? And I'm like, hey, look, on my YouTube channel is this video. It's like one of the only videos there right now, but there's a video and you can learn how to use it. Now the video quality, trash panda, right? The lighting is bad. The audio is not awesome, but it clearly shows how to use this piece of equipment. It is still there. It is the, how to use a handy Andy plying tool on my Fiberific channel. It's terrible, but people are still watching that video because they've got the plying tool and they don't know how to use it. So that's how I started my channel. I'm working on zooming in and zooming out. I think it will help with visual stimulus. Yeah, like, so depending on the streaming software that you're using, because I think you're an OBS guy, you can totally create up different scenes where it's in and out. And like I have I have about 6 scenes that I'll use over on my Fiberific streams. But that's more because they serve a purpose. Like I want to bring up a graphic. I want to have a second shot with my top down camera and my face in the corner. I want to bring the dog in, things like that. There's purpose for them. But anything else is just like gravy, Yeah, keep it simple. Yeah, I do know the other one. I did know the other one. Hang on a second. Yep, you enjoy a simple approach. Oh, that's a message for Andrew. I did multicam streams where I forgot to even switch to the. Would you turn to the camera and actually just not switch it? You just start talking into this other camera that's just not going anywhere, kind of like how that looked. That would be kind of funny. That would be. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at your misfortune, but I am human. We all have cats, so the three of us are setting up second camera cat cams for us. I've got a pet bed that's just here. It's just off, and I set up a camera so when the dog is in it, and I've made a frame because over on Ecamm and OBS you can add image frames, and I've got a frame that's little pet paws because sometimes it's the cat that's in it and sometimes it's the dog that's in it, and I add in pet cam. I used to add in Snowy Cam when I had the other studio when we had Snowy, and now Louis comes in, but we've realized that sometimes Louis likes to lay on his back while he sleeps. It's not always appropriate. I've done 2 cameras if I need to show something I'm displaying. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe an idea for StreamYard update camera switching. I'll bring that to them. It's one of the things, if you have a pro account with StreamYard, you can actually bring in a second camera. I'm just like looking at my desk here. My desk is trash, but I'm going to show you how that looks. Hang on. So you've got to go and click present and then extra camera and then share, and it comes in as a screen share. So did that? Oh, I need to choose a screen share option. Where is it? Add to stage. It's not working. There it is. There we go. I just needed the right kind of option here. So, you can add it and switch them around to what's bigger and what's smaller. So when you have the Pro plan on StreamYard, you do have a second option so that you can utilize a second camera. And having it so that they could switch some of this stuff for you automatically would be really nice. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's a bonus. It's an added thing. You can do it if you want. You don't have to do it. Pet cams should be a must. I agree. I love watching them. This, right? If you're not old enough to handle a timeout, you're not old enough to be in a random live stream. Yeah. Yep. Abby got little timeouts when she was like, little. 5. She'd get a 5-minute timeout because she was 5. So, yeah. The back of my head, though, that's an angle I don't even see. I don't know. Do you know what? We all have something about ourselves we don't like. I don't like my body at all, like any part of it. So having me on stream is the stressful thing for me. So it's just like, oh, well, the rest of me is here. You can have my face too. And everybody has something they don't like. And usually those people watching, they don't care. You don't like it. They don't notice it. They don't care. And like you guys have been around here before, like when I've talked about some of the issues that I have, like, and people write mean comments and things like that. So yeah, it's one of those things. Let me see. That's why I started YouTube, because of lockdown. I was getting a lot of legal questions, and during lockdown, I had to learn how to YouTube. A lot of people did learn how to YouTube and Zoom and video conference and chat more easily during lockdown. It was a really great tool, especially for that. I zoom in and out the old-fashioned way. Yeah, that would work. I just add my second overhead camera as a second guest via another browser. You can do that, but then you have to have like good internet, because your internet has to be able to cope with all of that. If you I also and I know some people use their phones. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I signed into the StreamYard with my phone. Absolutely, you can do that as well. They all work. These things all work. When you use your phone, however, you need to remember to put it on Do Not Disturb so that no phone calls try and come through. When you use your phone, I found that, like with my Samsungs, I haven't tried it with my Pixel, but with my Samsungs, I could never get the volume quite silent. It always just... So I would attach Bluetooth headphones and microphone, and then actually put them in a drawer so that I couldn't even hear the headphones. So yeah, there's lots of there's lots of different things. Let me look here. Doug, that's what they made. Tally lights. I need them too. I can get totally myopic when I stream. What are tally lights? I'll have to check it. Also, most be a good human applied to all. Yeah, be a good human. Yeah, is applied to all streams. I agree. I agree. Great demo on that second camera with the StreamYard Pro plan. I have that. I understand you could even use a smartphone inviting a guest and have a third camera. Oh man, that would be crazy. Yeah, absolutely. And you can even do what, was it League of Mine with Karen said? Or no, Frankie over 50 said. You can actually open your StreamYard account and come in as a guest using an alternative camera source. So like I could use this webcam instead. So you've got a lot of options to bring in some extra angles. Just remembering that when you use the additional browser sources or you're using a mobile phone, you need to use the additional data. For me, data is an issue, okay? I do have limited internet broadbands. So, yeah. Hey, Chantelle, where is your homework? I tagged you in. I've done it. I did it yesterday. I did it Saturday. It was finished Saturday. I tagged you in the group and I put it in there and I was like, first draft, Andrew Ken, and tagged you in the group. Now I'm all stressed out. I'm gonna have a drink of water. I did it straight away. I did notice you hadn't commented on it. I was going to email you about it today. Oh my goodness. Now I'm stressed out. Let me go back. Tally lights. Okay. Indicate that. All right. The indicators of which, I didn't know they were called tally lights that indicate which camera is live. That would be awesome. That would be great. I like that idea. Yeah, Doug streams at around the 8 a.m. US on Saturday mornings, Eastern time. Hey, Tech for Your Needs. It's great to see you in the stream. Thanks for jumping in. Oh, you have this mug as well? Hello. I just put water in mine because I could not drink this much coffee. My dad was here, right? And he actually puts this under the coffee machine and does 2 long blacks into it and drinks the coffee. I'm just like, I would die. I would literally die. Speaking of coffee, I do have coffee. It's gone cold, but I do have a coffee here. And because I am a beverage goblin, I also have sparkling water as well. Because I'm a beverage goblin. It was an old phone, only has internet access. Yep. I've got phones in a drawer that I do with things like that. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing with me what tally lights were. I feel like a bit of a numpty. Seems everybody knew what it was except for me, but this is how we learn. We learn by asking questions. If you've got questions, drop them in the chat. Oh, I see it. Okay, good. Thank you. I thought I'd put it where I was supposed to put it. Maybe I was supposed to DM it to you somehow. I don't know. But yeah. Twitter says hello. Hello, Twitter. Hello, Doug on Twitter. Great to see you over there. Actually, I just want to double check that LinkedIn has still got no comments. Yep, cool. Because I did notice that the first time we streamed with LinkedIn, I saw the comments after the stream. They didn't actually come through in the chat, which I was surprised about. I thought they would. So it might have been a glitch on my end. I might have not done something I'm supposed to do. I don't know. So, and then I saw someone else's comment did come through. So I was very confused over what worked and what didn't work. Andrew, did you know that the YouTube only emojis now work over on StreamYard? You know how before it would just describe out? Can somebody drop in an emoji to show Andrew? Because we're pretty darn excited. It just happened by accident at the start of the stream and I got totally derailed because the comments actually, the comments don't always work with those emojis. Here we go. Thank you, Russell. Look at that. They work. They work on StreamYard. Now, we did work out there were limitations. There was limitations. So we know they work on Android mobile. We know they work on Chrome browsers and Firefox browser. They do not work on Windows. No, not Windows. What am I saying? They don't work on, what's that dumb one? Microsoft Edge. They don't work on Edge. and they didn't work. Do they work on iOS? We don't know if they work on iOS. The emojis show. Is that the right? I think are they? No, they're the other emojis. So it's just I'm just talking about the YouTube only. No, the YouTube only emojis. The square ones at the top. All the others always worked, but the YouTube only ones at the top, the big bright color faces, they work now. So I'm pretty excited. So I don't know if is that a new thing? Like, did they just tidy something up? I don't know. They didn't work the other day. Now they're working. I'm very happy. This is the thing I love about StreamYard. They are constantly updating. There we go. That's the one, Legal Minded with Karen. Chris Haley from LinkedIn testing it out for me. Thank you, Chris. You're a champion. Testing to see if the comments come through on LinkedIn from desktop. That is cool. That is so cool. I have several moderators for my stream, as you said, enough in case others can't make it. That's right. Because this is the thing, right? People have lives and they might have to do something else at the time you're live streaming. And if you only have one moderator and they can't make it, then you're down. You're just like, well, I'm flying blind. And that could be fine. That could be totally fine. For me, I stress out when I know I don't have a moderator. That is just, it stresses me out when I know I'm like, I've got to moderate too. So yeah. StreamYard can do multiple camera angles. Yeah. So, okay. So there's a few different ways. Like we've run through this just before. So you've got the ways where you can have a pro account and bring in a second camera angle by doing present add camera. Then there's the option of bringing in additional devices using their cameras from alternate browsers. So bringing them in as a guest as an alternate browser, whether it's from the mobile directly or from like another webcam using your system, but in an alternate browser. But then there's the other ways, which is how I normally do it, which is I normally go into, not today, but usually go in via Ecamm. So I can use all the scene switching from Ecamm. Or from OBS does the same thing, or you can utilize something like what Nick Nimmin utilizes, which is he has his A10 Mini. There's so many options. There's so many options. You can make your stream look however you want it to look. So, yeah. Oh, sneaky. I may not have known about, I may or may not have known. Okay. Cool. Great chat. Excellent. Oh, Doug's over on LinkedIn now as well. Thank you, Doug. Thank you for checking over there too. I really do appreciate when you guys, like, when I'm a little worried about something and you guys just go and check for me. I very much appreciate that you do that, like all of you. It is awesome. Let's have a look. Oh, Amazing Yacht Destination has sent me coffees. Thank you for helping us all. Here's 3 coffees. Thank you so much for sharing that. I very much appreciate coffee. You know how much I love coffee. Coffee is my favorite thing. I just got a, okay. All right. I'm gonna, yeah. Interesting message I just got from the footballer. Sent me a DM. So, yeah. Hey, pineapples. Awesome. I love pineapple. Pineapple's one of my favorite fruits. So that is cool. Okay. Florida says, when I try to chat in the iOS, it forces me to Chrome, Google, or Safari. Really? I've not tried chatting in a, I've not tried chatting over on an iOS device. I don't use an iOS as my regular phone. 2 angles are good for my niche, 1 regular and 1 top to showcase products. It depends on your channel if it is needed. Absolutely. My crafting channel, I have a webcam. It's actually here right now. I actually have it like on an arm, and it sits here all the time because during most of my stream, I show the craft that I'm working on while I'm chatting. So I actually have multiple cameras, excuse me, on that other channel all the time. Oh, look at that. Still monitoring LinkedIn, but did not see Doug's comment in the LinkedIn chat. Really? Let me look. I'm seeing no comments in the LinkedIn chat. It says, be first to comment. Hang on. Oh no, I see them all now. So I see, I had to refresh. I see, I've got to pause that. I see Chris's and Doug's comments over on LinkedIn. Isn't that bizarre? Isn't that bizarre? And I do appreciate that you guys, like, just, you know, that you let me test things as well while we're live and we learn together, because I don't know everything about live streaming. I don't know everything about YouTube. And I think it's really great that we all do these things, that we all learn from each other and understand that we don't all know everything about everything, because YouTube is constantly moving, constantly growing. The softwares that we're using are constantly moving and constantly growing. StreamYard, hello, welcome to the chat. You're very welcome for the live demo. So thanks. Thank you so much for joining. Let's have a look here. Does it maybe only show the ones from when you join the chat like Twitch? Possibly. Possibly. And because it's my channel, I can see them all. That'd be interesting. That would be very interesting. Yes, that's right. I did mention earlier, StreamYard Town Hall is happening in about 1.5 hours. So 90 minutes, it'll be happening. We're running a little long today, but we're having fun. We're learning stuff. So we can run a little long. I'm not sure about that one. That would be a very interesting thing to test and check. I did have to, like, I had the stream open, but I paused it, so I wasn't using so much bandwidth. I did have to refresh it. Yeah, I had to refresh the whole tab to see the whole chat, but I did get to see the whole chat. I know that was interesting. I had to refresh the whole browser tab to see Doug's comments. Okay, all right. Interesting. And good to see that Doug is helping iOS chat check. So Doug's messaging from his iOS. Interesting. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's a difference in phones. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really good with the iOS thing. I'll be honest. It's not my strong suit. Am I the only beverage goblin? I just need to check. Am I currently the only beverage goblin here in this chat? With my coffee, my bubbly water, and my still water. I know that in the Fiberific live crafting chats, I'm not the only beverage goblin. It does make me feel better. So I would like to know if any of you have more than one drink. 3 makes you a goblin, but more than one would calm the nerves. So yeah. Let me look here. All right. So, it is. Oh, excellent. Frankie over 50 always has a hot drink and a cool drink when streaming. Thank you. Thank you, Frankie over 50. I appreciate so much that you've jumped in to let me know that. Because I know some people are like, no, I just have water. I just have a water. And you're just like, oh, okay. Cool. Amazing. No, I've already had 3 coffees, one after another. I've had 2. Well, 1 and a bit. I'm going to have to, I can't count that. That doesn't count. So 1 and a bit of coffee. So that's possibly it. All right, there we go. Thank you, Andrew. I have 3 drinks, water for hydration. As in my StreamYard mug, I have water for hydration. I then have water for fun because it's got bubbles. It actually helps when I get a dry throat as well. Hello. And coffee because caffeine. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things. But in saying that, I should have used my Yeti, and I knew I should have for my coffee. As I was making my coffee, I'm like, should I put that in my Yeti? I'm like, no, I'll just drink it. Yeti. I have a second Yeti coming, and the Yeti, I just get the little tumblers, like with the hot shot lid. And my second Yeti is slightly bigger, so I've got a 12-ounce Yeti already. Now I've got an 18-ounce Yeti coming, and I've gotten some custom. They do some custom etching on them. You don't have a lot of choices, but I've got something. I've got a little something over there that makes it. It'll make it so that my husband doesn't try to steal it, because he won't steal my other one because it's bright orange. This one's a bit more husband-friendly colors, so he may steal it. So I've got my name and something else etched into it. I wonder if the chat on LinkedIn has a little bug to not allow live scrolling. And Andrew says that he said hello on LinkedIn, but Andrew's comment from LinkedIn hasn't come through on the chat. Let me check LinkedIn. I'll need to refresh that because I paused it again. Andrew, yep, there we go. I see your comment there, Andrew. I'll just go through and thumbs up those comments. Yeah, that's interesting. Because Andrew, your LinkedIn hello hasn't come through to StreamYard yet. So I'll be very curious to see how that goes. So yeah. Oh, you're wondering why I was Yeti free today? It was a bad decision. That's why. Because I made a bad decision. So yeah. I wonder if there's a delay for LinkedIn comments. I don't know. It's bizarre. It is very bizarre. I don't know why some, and this is the thing. This is what we noticed in the first week that I did the LinkedIn and StreamYard was I didn't get all the comments that came through. And it wasn't until after the stream and I went back to just double check to see if it worked at all. I was like, do I even bother? Then you've got all of these like comments that were just sitting there that I didn't know were there. So I think there might be a little bit of a glitch, and I don't know if it's a LinkedIn glitch or a StreamYard glitch. I don't know. I'm not really that good with those sorts of things. I don't know if StreamYard's strength is its. I'll say that again. I don't know if LinkedIn's strength is live streaming. StreamYard's strength is definitely live streaming. Oh, Justin's on an Ecamm stream. Okay, we might have to jump over and have a look at that after. My LinkedIn is not paused and I didn't see Andrew's post. So if you refresh it, do you get to see? You shouldn't have to refresh it every time to see it post, right? Like, seriously? Yeah, this sounds like a LinkedIn glitch rather than an Ecamm, rather than a StreamYard glitch, honestly. All right. Well, boys and girls, we've well and truly run over today. We well and truly ran over. Thank you so much for all of you jumping in and hanging out and chatting and asking your questions and coming on this journey together, because this is what these streams are all about, is about us doing this journey together. So if you've got any questions, if you've got anything that you want help with, then, you know, we've got all these things that we all are doing, that we're doing together on the same platforms. We're coming up against the same problems. So we don't have to be alone while we deal with this. We don't. So you can either create your own in-person group like we discussed earlier, or you can keep jumping in on these amazing live streams. You can join over on Doug's Discord that we're totally going to raid. Doug popped a link in earlier for that. You can scrub back, or most of you are already members on Doug's Discord. I will go into the stream later and add it in the description. Thanks, Doug, for not, but sort of giving permission for that. I really appreciate everything that you all are doing, that you're jumping in. And thank you so much for coffees. I love coffees. You guys know I love my caffeine. So, after refreshing, it appeared. That is bizarre. You shouldn't have to refresh every time. I love that the faces come up now. It's so good. So thank you all so much for your time, for the energy that you bring to the streams. And I will catch you next week. Bye now.